I'll never forget that Tuesday morning. The air was humid, sunlight barely pushing through the Magnolia Springs neighborhood's tall oaks. I walked downstairs, coffee steaming in my favorite chipped mug, expecting another quiet day. Instead, I froze at the front door. There it was, a neon orange notice taped crookedly to the glass. HOA official notice. The bold letters screamed, "Effective immediately. Monthly fee increase, $600. Reason? Excessive vehicles on property." I stared at it, dumbfounded. 3 cars. That was my crime. In my own driveway sat my pride and joy, a red Lamborghini I'd saved for after years of hard work. Next to it, my wife Elena's SUV, a necessity for her 12-hour nursing shifts. And parked at the edge was our daughter Lily's used Honda Civic, a gift for her 16th birthday. This wasn't some cluttered parking lot. It was a driveway like any other. But to the HOA president, Monica Harrison, it was ammunition. Monica, the tyrant of Magnolia Springs. Through the kitchen window, I spotted her. Monica strutting down the sidewalk in her pastel pink blazer, her trademark hot pink clipboard tucked under one arm, and a laser measuring tape dangling from her hand like a weapon. She paused at her driveway, snapped photos of our cars, then scribbled furiously on her clipboard before moving to the next house. "Honey," Elena called, sliding scrambled eggs onto plates. "She's out again. Should we hide Lily's car in the garage?" No, I set the mug down harder than I meant to. The garage was packed anyway. My carpentry tools, Elena stored medical supplies from the pandemic years, boxes of equipment for side projects. Monica had already sneered at that excuse in past meetings. "Rules are rules, Mr. Adams," she'd said once, nose tilted so high I thought she might trip. But Monica's rules never applied fairly. Mrs. Patel down the street had been fined for planting roses too vibrant for HOA standards. Mr. Singh got slapped with notices about his Christmas lights still being up in January, though Monica's own reindeer display had lingered into March without a peep. It wasn't about order. It was about power. And Monica thrived on it. What Monica, or anyone else, didn't know was this. For 6 years, behind the scenes, I'd been slowly, carefully buying up properties in Magnolia Springs. Through my real estate development company, Keystone Homes LLC, I'd use shell corporations, trusts, and silent partnerships. 1 house here, 3 houses there, sometimes foreclosures, sometimes families looking for a quick sale. At first, it was just an investment. Rentals in a nice suburban community, safe bet. But the more I watched Monica abuse her neighbors, the more I realized what I was building wasn't just an investment. It was leverage. That morning, as Monica clicked away in her heels, I felt my phone buzz. I pulled it from my pocket. A text from my attorney. Ownership complete. 74% of Magnolia Springs secured. I stared at it, the number glowing on the screen. 74%. I folded the paper notice from my door into my back pocket. It was time. By late afternoon, Monica had spread word of an emergency HOA session. Flyers appeared on mailboxes, her minions buzzed about rampant violations lowering property values. At 7 p.m. sharp, I entered the Magnolia Springs Community Center. The room was packed. Neighbors filled every folding chair, some standing in the back. Mr. Singh sat near the front, muttering about how his grandkids couldn't even hang string lights without Monica showing up. Mrs. Patel clutched a folder full of letters she'd received about her flowers. Mr. Chen leaned against the wall, shaking his head. At the front, Monica stood smugly at the podium, her glittery pink gavel beside her laptop. A projector screen displayed a PowerPoint. Excessive vehicles equal decreased home values. She clicked to a slide, a photo of my driveway. "Ladies and gentlemen, she said, voice sharp. This is what devalues Magnolia Springs. Too many cars, disorder. If we don't act, our community will fall apart. Gasps rippled through the room. Loyal followers nodded as if 3 cars were the end of civilization. Monica clicked again, a zoomed-in shot of Lily's Honda. Parked for more than 48 hours, non-compliant. She slammed the podium. Therefore, I propose new restrictions. Maximum 2 vehicles per household. Effective immediately. Her gavel hit the wood with a satisfying smack. The board will now vote. I rose from my seat. Point of order, Madam President. The room hushed. HOA Bylaw 5.3a allows any member to question procedure before a vote. Monica glared, lips twitching. Make it quick, Mr. Adams. I walked forward, unrolling a massive map across the table at the front. Every lot in the neighborhood, color-coded. Phones shot up. Neighbors live-streamed. Monica blinked. What is this? This, I said, laying down deed after deed on the table, is proof that for the past 6 years, my company has quietly acquired properties in Magnolia Springs. Tonight, I stand here holding 74% ownership of this neighborhood. Gasps, murmurs, someone dropped a coffee cup. Monica's face drained of color. That's impossible. It's reality, I said, voice firm, which means your so-called board serves at the will of the majority. And I tapped the map, am the majority. But I didn't stop there. I pulled another folder from my briefcase. Here are 32 signed statements from residents about your selective enforcement, your late-night trespassing with measuring tape. Gasps echoed as I clicked to a hidden camera video. Monica, crouched in the Patel's yard at 3 a.m., measuring rose bushes with a flashlight. The crowd erupted. This is harassment, Mrs. Patel shouted. Mr. Singh stood up, voice booming. Enough is enough. Let's dissolve this board and elect new officers. Cheers rose. Monica slammed her gavel, panic flashing in her eyes. Meeting adjourned. No, I countered. Bylaw 42 requires a majority vote to adjourn, and you've lost it. The room thundered with applause. Monica's chair scraped the floor as she bolted for the door, but the crowd's voices followed her. Resign! Resign! Her pink heels clicked faster and faster, swallowed by the sound of neighbors finally free. By morning, news spread like wildfire. Monica Harrison, tyrant of Magnolia Springs, had resigned in disgrace. Local courts ordered a full audit of the HOA's finances. Within weeks, investigators uncovered $82,000 siphoned from discretionary fines funneled into personal accounts. Monica's luxury trips to Miami, Vegas, and the Bahamas suddenly made sense. Mrs. Patel received a check for $6,200, repayment for bogus rosebush violations. Mr. Singh got his Christmas lights fee refunded with interest. Dozens of families saw relief. As for me, I didn't want to rule alone. That wasn't the point. At a special town hall, we voted in a new 5-member board. Mrs. Rodriguez, a retired teacher, Mr. Chen, a level-headed engineer, Mr. Singh, a Marine veteran, and 2 others. I joined them, not as a dictator, but as part of a team. Our first act? Repeal every arbitrary fee Monica had created. Second act? Pass transparent rules, clear protections for families, service workers, and yes, households with multiple cars. 3 weeks later, Magnolia Springs felt like a different place. We rebranded the community, Thompson Hills. Instead of Monica's nitpicking, neighbors saw basketball games in driveways, kids laughing at the new playground we'd built from modest, fairly collected dues. Gardens thrived, unpunished. Holiday lights sparkled without fear of citations. A local news crew visited. "How did you transform this HOA from tyranny to teamwork?" a reporter asked me. I smiled. By remembering that neighborhoods are about people, not power. Property values climbed 12% almost overnight. Families actually wanted to move here. The local bank even offered better lending terms, citing healthy governance. One evening, as the sun set golden across the rooftops, Lily pulled her Honda into the driveway. It nestled between Elena's SUV and my truck. 3 cars, side by side, perfectly allowed. She hopped out, grinning, and high-fived Mrs. Rodriguez over the fence. On my desk,